Hi, welcome. This is Travels Part 1. Hello, this is me, Astrid Gerhard. This is my review of my travels. In 2016, I traveled to Melbourne to Brisbane and I stayed a few days on a quiet place in Bali. Let's enjoy and I explain later what this video is all about. I stayed in Brisbane at the Elizabeth Street Ibis Styles Hotel. I arrived around the evening of the 20th October in 2016, and I left the next day on the 21st October 2016. I stayed overnight with accommodation package. I paid with my Visa credit card. And I had a credit card surcharge the next day, which was fine. And I got this receipt, which was perfect to stay all together with my finances and have everything worked out perfectly. I stayed in Brisbane at the Elizabeth Street Hotel at the Ibis Styles because I went the next day to Bali and I took a flight from there, from the Brisbane airport. So I stayed close in the CBD, the Central Business District. And here you can see the charge from the pickup from the airport, which I booked all-inclusive at the Ibis Styles Hotel on Bali Airport. I find this very useful, and you can see the total charge I paid in advance, and it was very late at night, so I discovered my pickup car by the chauffeur, giving me a hands up by holding over his head a sign with my name on it. So I was very relieved. I had just my huge backpack and a smaller bag with me. So I carried a lot, over 20 kilograms. But still, it was late at night, it was very dark. And although it was expensive, the Ibis Styles Hotel, I stayed in Denpasar, but it was still quite very very good amount of time I had to walk. I guess I would be all alone on the street because there was very few people running around. So I was relieved that I had booked this pickup from the hotel. It was a hotel driver, and it was a very, very dark car. And it had no sign of the hotel, of the Ibis Styles Hotel on it, and it was really not a taxi driver. So I was glad to see my name on the sign. So I had the relief that I booked in advance, and it was a good choice. This is my receipt from my stay in Southport at Aqualine Apartments in Australia. I stayed there in Southport, Queensland, because I wanted to see an event, and it was an event actually taking place over the night. So I went to Queensland. Let me see. I booked over the phone on the on the 1st of September 2016, and I arrived actually one day earlier, but I did stay in a very quiet hostel, but it was a hostel and it was a one-bedroom situation, but I didn't feel safe because it was very far away from the central business district, but I had no issues or anything. I just didn't feel quite okay. So I stayed there one night. I had booked in advance for 2 nights because I wanted to see the event in the evening. But then from the first night in the beginning, um, I was unsure that I could sleep well. So I checked out the next morning. I went with my backpack. But no, I had my backpack, my huge backpack with the two. I had 2 bags and a huge backpack with 20 kilograms. I left at my apartment. I did rent for 3 to 6 months in Brisbane. And I had a quite smaller bag with me and my purse. So it was not so heavy for me to walk around. So I went to the business district. I had a coffee at a coffee shop in the morning, and I drank my coffee and I looked over the internet over my phone, and my iPad. I had an iPad with me. I looked up different apartments and the rentability of them, and yeah, hope that I could find something for the very night on the 2nd September. So I phoned in at the Aquamarine Apartments, and yeah, I got lucky. So they were at the Marine Parade 2136, I guess, 6 or 5. That's the address. I did find it very easy to walk there. It was quite a few over the ocean at Southport, so I was lucky that they had one apartment for me to stay over from the 2nd September 2016. And yeah, it was crowded at the event, so I was very, very happy to walk in the very dark night after the event back to my apartment and stayed on my own for the next day until I finalized my stay at Southport and went back to my apartment in Brisbane, Queensland. So this is a small overview of Aqualine Apartments. I think they pronounce it this way. And you can see on their website they have this little image film or short clips. And I managed to give you here a short overview of a few screenshots from this image. And you can see they have a high-rising building, and I was on the top floor, and you can see the promenade or the Marine Parade. It's called the street name, or the promenade, where you go across a few bridges, or you can sit there in a cafe and enjoy the sunrise or the sunset. And I was there for an event, and I stayed overnight at the Aqualine Apartments, and I had this exact living room situation going on over there in this image, but it was just flip around, as it was just the other side around. But I had a balcony and a lot of other great accessories in this hotel. It was an apartment all by myself, so I was alone there, and it was quiet. It was really quiet. I think it was not the main season for holidays in Australia. It was September the 1st and the 2nd and the 3rd. I guess I stayed from the 2nd till the 3rd September in 2016 there. But it was quite a view because I was on the top floor. Maybe just by accident, because I didn't book in advance. I booked as I stayed local before one night, I told you. So in this case, I phoned in and they gave me this pretty nice apartment. I was the lucky one. So at around September, After I came back from Southport from the event and my overnight stay at Southport Aqualine Apartments, I booked a one bedroom or a smaller apartment in Byron Bay. It's also on the Gold Coast. I already had my apartment since August, I think. July, August, I rented an apartment in Brisbane. I stayed there and I really loved the idea of traveling from Queensland over around the Gold Coast to Byron Bay. Go there to Clark's Beach or have at the Top Shop. I really didn't go to the Top Shop. It's a cafe. I heard lots of good stuff about it at the internet. There is a lot of great reviews. You can look into what kind of stuff you're interested in, if surfing or just go to the hinterland. And so the outback of Australia is not really there, it's the hinterland called. So you have a lot of woods there and a lot of animals. You can see kangaroos, you can have a walk in the morning and then have a coffee at the beach. So it was really relaxation if you go there. And yes, I was pretty sure that I did write an email, I guess, to Jenny Shaw, stayinbyron.com. .au. It's the website called, and you can see here the booking confirmation I got from Miss Shaw or Mrs. Shaw. She told me, Miss Astrid Gerhard, dear Astrid, thank you for your booking. Your reservation is confirmed as follows. The property is Byron at Clark's Unit 3. It's 6 Patterson Street at Byron Bay in Australia at the Gold Coast. My arrival was on the 8th September in 2016, which was a Thursday, and I booked this apartment. It was a smaller lodge, small kitchenette, washing, everything was there. So I had no car. I traveled by bus from Brisbane in Queensland to Byron Bay at the Gold Coast in New South Wales. It's not that easy for me to rent a car from just nothing, because I was not a good driver, just driving on the left side instead of the right side. I had not really experienced it, so I stayed safe and traveled by bus. There's a great Gold Coast drop off and pick up bus situation. You can just catch a bus if you booked in advance. You can do it over the internet. It's pretty easy and good for traveling. So I did this, and you can see here there is an arrival time. I must be there around 2 p.m. and the departure day in the morning around until 10 a.m. ish, I think. Yes, and it's really good. The property is in a residential area, so please consider your neighbors. She told me there in the text, regretfully, functions are not allowed and noise restrictions are enforced. While it is rare, tenants breaking booking conditions can be evicted from premises without refund. I didn't do this. I stayed there the whole time. It was really great. And yes, the booking conditions worked out for me very, very good. In the next video, I will show you or tell you about my places I stayed in Brisbane at Queensland in the CBD apartment. I will tell you a bit about the rent, electricity bills, and how I catered myself. And also I will tell you how I got around with my huge backpack, two backpacks, a smaller one and a bigger one with 20 kilograms, which I only took with me when I did travel by plane to leave the country, or yeah, in the case that I went home, which I did in November. Before I went back to Germany, I took the plane to visit Denmark, Copenhagen, and it was a pleasant stay. at a hostel, so I will tell you about this maybe in the further videos I will load up at YouTube.